But they made a very bad tweet that went viral. Okay, I'm glad that it's now deleted because I wasn't going to show it on stream anyways. To sum this up, they had a tweet where they were saying something along the lines of trauma dumping is bad. Okay? And trauma dumping on streamers and content creators is bad. Viewers shouldn't trauma dump and expect their favorite streamer to be their therapist and all of these things. We get that. But this user decided to leak 4 screenshots of private DMs with a viewer, not censoring their name, not doing anything. And this viewer was very clearly suicidal. Okay? And they shared this on Twitter, obviously to dunk on them for likes. And the tweet in question, which I said is now deleted, it got up to over 50,000 likes. And I would imagine hundreds of thousands, if not into the millions, in terms of views. That is a very shitty thing to do. 50,000 likes, yes. And it was getting a lot of attention very quickly. Don't trauma dump on streamers who have 700 followers. It's just such a weird thing to do. Like I said, you can agree that trauma dumping on streamers is a bad thing, while also not leaking their DMs and shaming them publicly. There's so many options you could do, right? You could, one, just tell them to go get help and you're not the person for that job and move on. Or you could ignore them, or you could block them, or you could shut off your DMs to people that you don't follow. That's a feature on basically every social media site, so you don't have people sending you DMs like that. That's pretty much it. All those options, but they ignored that and instead posted a thread showing this person in a vulnerable state just for likes on Twitter. Which to me, I think is a very shitty thing to do. And on top of that, look at the irony of this. Their pinned tweet is about raising money for the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. Couple that with their tweet leaking DMs of a viewer saying they're suicidal. Yeah, that is a terrible, terrible look. And also, there were other VTubers. When this post initially didn't get a lot of blowback, by the way. A lot of people were supporting it at first. Some people were asking some questions and saying, hey, maybe this is kind of fucked up to do. But a lot of people were coming out, other VTubers and content creators, and saying like, yeah, that's so hilarious. I do the same thing. I normally mock them when people trauma dump and all those things. And it's just like, it was masked off for a lot of people. And as I said, this individual deleted all their tweets. They said, I deleted the tweet because I did not intend for it to go viral. They never intend for it to go viral, by the way. That's what they all say. I did not do it for clout. I did it because I want people to be aware that streamers are humans too with their own feelings. We deal with things like this on a daily basis and are not at all equipped to handle it. Oof.
Is it a daily basis?
No, it's not a daily basis. Okay, I am no huge, massive streamer, but I have a pretty sizable following. Okay, I get a lot of DMs, but this happens very rarely. Very rarely do I have someone trauma dumping on me, and I have my DMs open too on places like Twitter.
And even someone like me who does like content that I feel like would lead me to get this happening to me more. I mean, yes, it happens, but I would say maybe every couple months.
Yeah, and a lot of it too is how you handle it. Like if you
and
engage.
How you interact with your
if I saw someone trauma dumping on me, I just wouldn't engage. I wouldn't say anything to them. It's not my responsibility to be their therapist, and I think getting involved only makes it worse for both parties involved. I don't think it's a good idea unless it's someone you actually know, but even then, it's a tough situation, and there was no reason to leak all this stuff. You're talking about people, I'm just a human being, so is the person who you leaked their DMs, right? That's a person too. And like, I get what they did was stepping over some boundaries, but showing this all out publicly is a lot worse. Damn, I had a lot of people trauma dump during 2022 to 2023. Usually about aunties, I usually try to give advice. Never ever thought of posting it. Exactly. That's the main problem. But they go on to say, I should have blurred the names at the very least. Yes, that was my fuck up. There were better ways to go about this. I offered the advice that I was able to, and when it was ignored, I should have just blocked the person. Yeah, exactly right. I mean, you shouldn't have posted anything in the first place, but if you really felt the need to, you should have censored the name at the very least, and that's really it. And honestly, in situations like that, either ignore or just block. That's the best way to get out of it. But initially, they mocked. I don't have the tweet anymore. They deleted it, but they did mock someone saying, "Hey, you should have censored the name." They're like, "I basically don't care enough to censor out the name," which is fucked up. They go on to say, "I do stand by the mindset that streamers are not your therapist, and you should not be going to trauma dump on them out of nowhere. But I should have been more empathetic with some of my replies for that. I'm sorry." And then their last tweet is, "I know some people will already blacklist me for it, and others will say I'm fake for deleting the tweet and apologizing, but I feel like I made a mistake by making it, and this is me owning up to it. I sincerely hope they are able to receive the help they need to be better." Well, it wasn't your help, by the way. But also, I always find it very interesting. There's like you can watch in real time when they took down the tweet. It was like only a couple hours ago. It already crossed 50,000 likes. And I remember at that point, it was getting like probably 15 to 20 quote retweets per minute. And that was happening for hours. Like, and I noticed in their likes, they had liked tweets from within the last hour before they took it down. So they were active on Twitter. But eventually enough heat got to them that they felt bad. So then they took it down.